part of our baseball discussion. Top 10 third baseman in MLB. So, who are the top third baseman in MLB? So, we've been going right along. We're going to go through all the positions here as we get to the regular season. Now, we're here in the off season. So, who is in the top 10? This position is very, very strong. I don't think there's any question about it. One of the strongest. But when I looked at it, it's like, wow, this is much, much stronger than I thought as far as terms of the quality of players. Look at that right off the bat. Number 10, Matt Chapman. I have Blue Jays. He's still a free agent, so he has not signed. I don't know where he is going to sign. Word is Cubs, possibly. I think he could wind up back in Toronto, but he's phenomenal. I think all the years, it was almost too bad. I think he almost got wasted in Oakland all those years. All those years that him and Greg Olson were there. That's right, Matt Olson were there. They actually elevated the team. I don't know if he's on the downside of it, but he's pretty good. I think he's definitely in the top 10, better than most. I definitely think he'll get you 20 home runs, 80 RBIs. I think it depends on where he goes. If he can go definitely to a lineup as protection, you actually can have a resurgence. Isaac Paredes from the Rays. So definitely here's the Rays. Look, I'm doing these lists. There's more Rays on it than I thought. This guy's definitely a top 10. Stats were pretty good. Definitely can hit for power. I like him a lot. I think he's going to go forward. I don't know how good the Rays are going to be, but this is definitely a bright spot for them. Paredes at 9. Max Muncy makes the list. If you want a high average, this is not your guy. This is not your guy of high average. He's going to hit for power. That's for sure. He definitely can do that. I think his average will come back up. I think his average was pretty low last year. I think the average will come back up. Look, in this lineup he has, and that matters. And I think that's almost a weird thing to say. But I think when you have good hitters around you, that helps the hitter a lot. When you get good pitches to hit, when you get more opportunities at the plate, if you're not being pitched around, et cetera, I think those help. Muncy, I think, is definitely in a good spot there. Number 8, Alex Bregman from the Astros. Again, loaded lineup. Bregman's pretty good for a long time over there at third base. Again, lots of protection in the lineup. Kyle Tucker, Alvarez, etc. on that lineup. Pena, those guys like that. Bregman, I think he's one of the leaders, I think, on that team as well. Right along there with Jose Altuve, I think Bregman, has been one of the backbones for their teams throughout the year. No question about it. They're a elite team, and they have an outstanding third baseman, Bregman, at number 7. Here, I think, is the heart and soul guy for, and I knew I was going to do it, Indian. The Guardians, I'm sorry. The Guardians. Heart and soul guy for them. I think probably he's their best offensive player along with Steve Kwan. He hits for power. I think he's pretty good at third base. I think at some point they may move him to first base, but he's pretty good over there. I really like the things that he's done. Good power hitter as well. Good, decent enough field. Not great, decent enough fielder, but definitely if you want a guy that's going to get you 30 home runs, 100 RBIs, definitely here's a guy. Doesn't need a lot of protection. Not a great lineup there, but outstanding power hitter. Jose Ramirez, best. I think the heart and soul of that Guardians ball club. Gunar Henderson, sky's the limit. Sky is the limit for our guy Gunnar. He is one of the best young players in all of baseball. Top prospect last year, rookie of the year. He's only going to get better and better. I think he didn't lead the Orioles in home runs. You can almost guarantee he's going to be 30 and 100. He got off to a slow start and still had a great year. So sky's the limit. I do think he's better at third. Some I've seen on these lists have had him at short. I don't think he's going to be at short. I think he's going to be at third pretty much most of the year. Here's an all-timer, Nelson Arenado. This guy could be going to the Hall of Fame. Maybe slowing a bit. The Cardinals weren't as good. His stats weren't as good. I still think he's really good. I think at some point he may be moved this year. I think the Yankees were maybe in on him, but here's a guy who's really really a solid all-around hitter. Hits for average, hits for power, very good defensively. Getting a little older, so that's the question. Has a few more injuries last year. How much is left in the tank? There's no question about it. This is the line here. If you say Manny's number one, I don't have too big of a problem with it. I have him at number 3. Manny Machado is terrific. His bat speed blows me away every time I see him. His guy gets the bat through the zone as fast as anybody ever. That's saying a lot. He really can hit for power, hit for average. Average isn't consistently as high with him out there in San Diego as I thought it might be. But I mean, he's not consistently at 300. He dips down a bit, but he's really good. He's really good. Third base, very good at third base, very good hitter. I love Manny. Manny is tremendous player for them. They were smart to keep him and extend him and build around him. Devers, oh man, the only reason I don't like him more is because he's on the Red Sox. Honestly, Devers is terrific. Again, heart and soul guy here. They let Bogarts go. They let Turner go. They let a lot of guys go. Sale. They've kept this guy. They're building around him. That was a good decision. Average was not quite as high. I think some people get obsessed with the batting average, how high it needs to be, 300 or whatever. But he's really good. Devers, I think, is the real deal. I think also too, his lineup as the lineup gets better, he gets more pitches to hit. I think he's more productive. I actually love him as a third baseman as well. Big, strong arm. Yes, Devers is number 2. Number 1, Austin Riley. Moved around a lot, different positions. I think he kind of landed at third base because of all the depth the Braves have at so many different positions. And this guy's almost forgotten about. Look, I've done this list. You've had Braves everywhere. So he's really good. I think Riley definitely could win an MVP. He's got that much talent. Outstanding hitter, tremendous size, could play him in various positions, primarily at third base, hits for power, hits for average. He's sensational. Austin Riley, number 1, best third baseman in the MLB. There you go. Austin Riley, number 1. So there you go. Definitely going to go ahead and have that. Definitely